2, 1. All right. What's up, bro?
Yes, dude. You know what? I'm always up for these random, like last second, let's get on a podcast and do something, man. This is always fun.
Well, first of all, we need to clarify a few things. First thing is that we will be there for the game tonight. So anybody who's listening to this and heard us the other day say we weren't going to be there, we are. I think we said it twice, yesterday and the day before, Dave.
Yeah.
So
we've got to be there.
We got to straight our shit out. First of all, Friday night, it's a party. Can't wait to see you, buddy. Halftime show is going to be off the hook.
Jared, we're going to enjoy having you there too, man. Hell yeah.
It's going to be
What's up, Shane?
What's up, buddy? It's going to be great show. So, with all that said, I got my mic a little closer, so appreciate the comments. Anybody who notices my shit's fucked up, appreciate you. I did a little modification to my space. I won't talk about it all, but there's permanency to this situation.
I did like that street sign behind you. It says "Do not enter." Just in case you wonder.
It's actually from Boston, right? It's a MTA sign, the Metro Transit Authority. And
there you
go. Do not enter. $50 fine, excluding buses. So there is an exception. If you got a big caboose, you are welcome in here.
Dude, it just takes me back to when we were guys. I'm pretty sure that we can't get in trouble for this anymore because it's been too long.
Limitations is passed. Yeah.
Statute limitations is on this one. What's up, 819 William?
What's up, buddy?
But check this out. Mark and I, we used to run this little gang of homeschool thugs, and we used to run around and steal street signs. And in Edmond, that we would steal these street signs. There was a news article that was saying that there was like $22,000 in signs stolen over the course of 3 weeks. That was totally probably us. We don't know if it was old.
Dude, if
what's that?
If you're gonna put information like that out there, then I had nothing to do with that.
It wasn't us, but we know who did it. Anyways, good times. I think we stole or took. We borrowed because we did bring them back. I want to throw that out there. We brought them back. But we got 60 in one night.
You want to know the truth, bro? I honestly wasn't there for that.
Oh, you weren't?
No, but I cannot confirm or deny that happened. But I have heard some pretty crazy stories about a car chase and various other things.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
I was in Michigan.
Oh man, you missed out.
You wouldn't believe how many things, me being in Michigan, how many things I got out of trouble because it was like I couldn't have been there. I was in
So I had a old Saab 9.3, I think it was 9 point whatever. Anyways, it was the old hatchback, right?
Yeah.
So the hatchback would go up and we could slide any sign we wanted in the back there. And it was the only car that we could do that with. Everything else that we had couldn't fit the signs in. So we would go around. We stayed away from stop signs, but we went around and borrowed.
There may be a statute of limitations that still.
We returned them.
I know, but you put some pretty big numbers. Because, I'll tell you, one time I stole a shopping cart from Walmart, and some cops were like, "Listen, guys, you might think a shopping cart isn't that expensive and it's fun, but they actually are above the $500 limit for it to be a felony."
Oh, okay. So, we didn't officially do any of this shit then.
Right. He was like, I think it's a bullshit situation that it's a $500 item and it's a felony. So I'm going to just ask you to return it. And he was actually very nice about it. He just said, you don't need the shopping cart. And I was like, you're right. So we returned it and it was fine. And I think what you did was the appropriate thing there too, because obviously nobody's trying. It was just I don't know what 20,
we saw signs
25 or 30 years ago now, just juvenile.
Dude, I was just got my driver's license. So I was probably 17 or 18 at the time. So we're talking 21, 22 years ago. But my point about it is old school Edmond. If you guys remember old school Edmond, the old people that are from Oklahoma, it was a different place. It was a completely different place than it is now. And
it was pasture land, bro.
Yeah, it was old pasture land. And it's crazy because Oklahoma in itself, especially Oklahoma City, Norman, Moore, all these other sub cities to Oklahoma City are just booming right now. And it's I don't know, it's inspiring looking back and saying, oh yeah, I remember when we would take a street sign from right there, and it was on, a place that there was nothing. There was nothing for miles and miles and miles. And now going back, there's none of that stuff in Edmond. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So
it's definitely built up. I haven't been over there in quite a while, but every time I go back, I'm always impressed with how much further it's pushing. And that brings us to the part of the episode where we encourage everybody to move to Oklahoma, where the world's finest weed is available for the world's best price. And I can't even get a good angle for you guys. And the women, they're fine. The weed is cheap. And the games, the basketball is the best on the whole planet. So what else could you ask for? Oklahoma is where you want to live. Show up. We'll get you some tickets. We'll get you a blunt. We'll hang out. You'll have some friends as soon as you arrive, dude. Dave and I were talking about people who are moving to the area, people who move to different areas, and we think Oklahoma is about to be on a different level. So we're putting this out worldwide. No matter where you are, you want a fresh start, cheap weed, amazing women, move to Oklahoma today.
Yeah, and it was great when the state of Oklahoma and the governor approached us to start talking very positive about Oklahoma and give them all the shout outs that we possibly could. And so Marcus is buttering up the governor. We appreciate you, Governor.
First of all, I don't know the governor.
Dude, for like 10 seconds there, man, that was great. All right.
Listen, I got a lot to say about the governor, but I would just congratulate him on his election and his choice of Secretary of State is a real douchebag.
Crocking. Fucking cocks out there, bro. All right. I'm so glad we spent the first 5 minutes or 7 minutes of this podcast. Things you don't do, kids. Talk about tonight, though.
The Secretary of State and it's a pass. All right. Well, we can just act like we didn't say any of this stuff, but
we're good with it.
Let's talk about what's coming up tonight. We got a game against the Kings, and then it goes Warriors, or does it go Spurs, Warriors?
It goes Suns, Spurs, Warriors, Trailblazers.
You mean? Oh, we're playing the Suns tonight, not the Kings.
No, Kings tonight, Suns tomorrow.
King? Oh, back to back, bro.
12th and 14th. Okay. What is today?
Today's the 10th.
Okay, yeah. Today's the 10th. So then Suns is in on Sunday, 2 days. And then Tuesday is the Spurs.
Guys, think about that. Man, how long have we been waiting for this game?
Dude, TNT, 7:30, prime time.
All right, we got 2 massive games before that. Theoretically, the game that we're talking about and getting exciting about is the easy game of the other 3. Although the Suns got beat twice by the Spurs, so like, who the fuck knows what we're dealing with, right?
I mean, that's it. I mean, you look at this the schedule and what we've done. I was looking at it today, guys, and I was getting excited because the Cavs aren't chumps. We beat them twice now, the 2 times we've faced them this year. The Hawks are playing really good, and we just beat the shit out of the Hawks, right? And then, of course, the other teams we've beat are the Pistons and the Bulls. Destroyed the Bulls and destroyed the Pistons. This is good for us. I think that a lot of people want to look at and say, well, we've lost to 3 West teams, and we beat the 4 East teams that we played, or 5 East teams that we played. I understand that mindset, but I want to go past that because these are the East games are the easy games. We have to win these games. Like the West games, they're going to be difficult all season long. We're going to be running into it. But if we beat the East teams that we're supposed to beat and win the majority of those East teams, then I think we have 20 games against East teams, 25 games against East teams. That's big. If we can pull off 20 of the 25 wins against East teams, then we're looking in really good shape.
Have we won all the games against East so far?
What's that?
Have we won all of our
games? Yeah, so we beat the Bulls, right? Beat the Cavs, beat the Pistons, beat the Cavs again, and then we beat the Hawks. That's our 5 wins.
Damn.
So our 3 losses, all West teams.
Yikes. So we've had a ton of East games to start the season, so that kind of like is a good thing to get us going. But as
Yes,
the season goes on, it's going to get more lopsided toward West games.
absolutely. And but like again, like I think it's 25 or 30 games that we get against East teams. All right. So I forget exactly. I need to go back and look. So if you think about that, we've already gone through 5 of those games, and that's what, a sixth of the games if there's 30 games against the East. So like that right there kind of shows you how much East we have in the beginning. And again, I'm not mad about the East games. We need to be putting away those teams, and also it's good for the team to be able to win those games, knowing that they're going to have confidence against any East team they play. 76ers are coming up, and like those are the games that are going to be difficult that we need to be able to say our bench is going to be able to destroy these guys.
Well, we saw some big play from Chet from Shea last game. We've talked a lot about supporting the other guys as they kind of like figure out their new roles and a new season's underway. But I have a feeling that since maybe only one of our guys has really played a true A game so far, and maybe there was a little bit more that we could have got out of Shea if the game was closer. Um, my question is like, what do we need to, continue this winning mode that we're on right now? How do we get to the point where, tonight's a win?
Sure. I think I got to go back to just the beginning of the season and what we expected from this team. I think we sat down in the beginning. I said for the first, through the first 10 games, I thought we could go, what was it, 8-2 or 7-3. I think that's where we have to go back to. So, the reality of the situation of where we're at, we have a legit opportunity to go 10-3, for the first 10 games, or 7-3 for the first 10 games. Just because I do have faith that this team could beat the Suns. I have faith that this team could beat tonight, which is the Kings. And through categorically looking at it, if we can get through the first 10 games and we get that 70% win percentage on there, that to me is exactly where this team needs to be at the mindset, because that's what we need to be pulling off every single 10 games. Is this team is good enough to be able to do that. And if you look at the schedule and you look how the schedule's designed, there's only 2 or 3 times in the season where winning 7 out of 10 games is probably going to be a little bit more difficult, right? But this is one of the biggest steps right here, because we have the Warriors twice in that time. We've got the Pelicans. We've got the Nuggets in this, group. So if we can pull off this, it's going to be huge. The Suns are in this group. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, if we can do, which I would consider this being one of the more difficult 10 game stretches that we have. And if we can find a way to do this and pull it off, to me, this is exactly what, because you can say what you want about the East teams that we've played. The Cavs don't suck. They do not suck at all. Right. And then obviously the Hawks are pretty much like destroying the East right now. And then you have, Pistons suck, but that's just the Pistons. But the Bulls aren't bad either this year. So for me, like, those are good wins. That's all I want to say about that. These are good wins. And I do think that if you're going to compare an East team to a West team, that you could say that the Cavs and the Kings are similar how their cores are, with Donovan Mitchell and Fox. Like, you got 2 high scorers, fast paced scorers. Then you've got your big men. It's very similar, and we match up really well against the Cavs. So in theory, we should match up very well against the Kings.
Is Fox playing? Last I had heard he was out, but that was a little while ago.
Yeah, I'll pull up right now while Mark's talking.
The other thing I would like to say, though, is like coming into the season based off of last season, if you look at the teams that you would anticipate would be 2 of the toughest games all season, would be the Kings and the Suns.
Sure.
Like, they were some of the best of the West last year. So, like, we could lose both of these games. No, how about this? We should lose both of these games if you're just going based on, like, probably like Vegas numbers, right? But go ahead.
Think about this. The Kings are good, but they don't have Fox. Thank you, Unk. They don't have Fox, right? And then you got the Suns, who I believe they're missing a couple of their players, right? And then we go to Spurs, which in all honesty, it should be an easy game, but the Spurs are an easy game for us this year because there's a lot of hate and animosity there. Then we go both Warriors Blazers. So we got 2 games against Warriors, 1 game against the Trailblazers. Mark's right by saying that we could go 0-2, but even more so, like we could go we could win 1 game here and lose 5. Like that's the reality. Like this is
all 5.
this is the toughest stretch that we have to start off. I mean, like if you look at the rest of the teams that play, like we played the Warriors, I think 4 times this year, and we're going to play them 3 times in a matter of 2 weeks. That's insane. Like we only play the Warriors 1 more time after this. Like that's what it's not normal what we're going to have to go through the first 10 games of the season, really even the first 15 games of the season. But if we can come out with an early a challenge and come out and play well and do things right, and we see Jay Will and Chet more starting to mingle better, then guess what? There's no telling what's going to happen. Because if we come out on top of this and even we go through the next 7 games, which is which is a pretty good chunk there. If we go through the next 7 games and we're if we win 5-2, then everybody in the NBA is going to be talking about the Thunder. Like it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be the Thunder just went through this crazy amount of schedule, playing all these top quality teams, and they went 5-2. Like that's what we got to be doing at this moment. That's what we got to be focusing on, because this team is unique in that way. Is having a record of 12-5 and having a juggernaut starting off this way, to me, is exactly what this team needs to do. And I'm excited about it, man.
Yeah, we've had some really good games against the Kings. When the Kings are playing at their best, which obviously without Fox, they're probably not their best, but they still have a lot of really good elements to their ball movement. They're really frustrating on the glass.
So
Sabonis
frustrating.
is a really great passer. He's really great big. So my guess is this is going to be a 4-quarter barn burner. I would think that we're going to be able to pull this one out, because I think even with Fox, we've improved enough. The Kings at best are standing still, and while they were better than us last year, I think this version of this team is something that they're going to have a lot more trouble dealing with than what they think. So I'm betting on us to get the win, but I also
Sabonis
feel like
versus Chet.
be realistic.
Yeah, Sabonis versus Chet is the one I've been circling for a very long time. I'll be honest with you guys. Like people have been excited about Chet versus Mobley, Chet versus Victor, and yes, I am excited about those too. But Sabonis versus Chet, because if you look back when Sam Presti drafted Sabonis, right? I really think that Sabonis was that first of the Chets. The first of these big guys that are ball handlers, that can pass, that do everything very well. He was the beginning part of it. He was the beginning piece. And I think when Sam had him on the team and then we traded him, Sam felt that he made a mistake. Yes, we got Paul George, right, out of the deal. But I think in his mind, he should have somehow found a way to keep Sabonis. And if we had Sabonis, Chet, and PG-13, I don't think the NBA was ready for that. And that's the problem right there. Because Sam Presti recognized that was the piece that we were missing in the last team that we had. And I go back to this and seeing how valuable Chet is in this idea of the Oklahoma City Thunder system. It starts with Sabonis. Without Sabonis there, Sam Presti, yes, he sees Chet, but it's not as important to get somebody like Chet. But now that you had Sabonis, you drafted Sabonis, you had him playing on your team, you do all that other stuff, man, it's the exact thing that you need. Now you understand that Chet was the only piece that you needed in that championship. Sabonis was that piece. And now Sabonis is, 30? Getting old there. He's been an multi all-star. He's been, I think he got top 7 in MVP voting one year. Like, he's been a phenomenal player. And I can't even imagine if he was, still around the Thunder when Russ was there with PG and all these other guys. It would have been insane.
Bro, I just got coffee delivered in the attic.
Bro, that's next level. What's up, Robert? Phantom?
What's up,
Nicholas? Guys? Mawani? Unk? You guys are killing it today, man.
So what do you guys think? What do we need to do well to beat the Kings? Obviously, Coach Daignault's improving.
Attack with our offensive guards, bro. Attack. It's their weak spot right now on defense.
All right, so let's play devil's advocate. Now, if you're the Kings, what are you telling your team how to beat the Thunder?
Well, obviously they've got a great coach. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm
Since
really
his time
impressed too.
since his time in Cleveland, he has been always on point. And
Well, yeah, he spent Mike Brown spent that time in with the Warriors,
Yep.
and I think it really like he came back at a different level, and what he's done with them has been really special. Now they're
It
gonna have some
is.
management problems, like
But
keeping everybody intact, but
yeah, and
he's
happy.
done a hell of a job.
And then you got like the way that he demands these guys to play defense. That's why I say Fox out of the game. You got to attack with your guards. You got to attack because you're going to get these other guards in foul trouble because his guards play so physical, right? And I think that when we're able to take advantage of the physical play is when Shea gets to the foul line and J-Dub and Chet and all these guys get to the foul line and we can shoot 26, 27 foul shots in the game or even more because that physicality, if we're taking advantage of it, it's because we're taking advantage of it getting to the hole, foul, layup, and one, or hole, foul, whatever the course is, and I look at this and I can't help but say if the Thunder want to win this game, first of all, we got to shoot 90+% from free throws. We got to get to the free throw line 27 plus times. We got to keep Sabonis and the Kings off of the offensive glass because they're fucking destroy the offensive boards.
They do, and Barnes is one of those guys you got to watch out.
I know, and he's sneaky about that. And then the last thing is we've got to finish our easy shots. That's it. We're not talking about hitting 40% from three because we don't necessarily need to do that to beat the Kings, but we need to hit our easy shots. And I'm not looking at any of the players in particular. I'm just saying is that, Shea last game missed a couple at the rim. Josh Giddey missed a couple at the rim. J-Dub missed a couple we could go down the list. They all missed a couple off the rim, and that's just part of the game. That's not, me being, dick here. But you can't do that with the Kings. The Kings will take advantage of that every single time, and it's because they're well coached.
And we can't expect to get any whistles.
Yeah. All right, Mark. William 819 wants to know what you're rolling.
What is it? I forgot the name of this, but it's beautiful. I wish I had the lighting to show you how gorgeous these nugs are.
Holy cow, man. Wow.
What is that?
I can see, it's a little fuzzy, but I can still see the details on that shit, bro. That's amazing.
In front of my face. Man, if you could see the crystals, you can't though. It's just every time I get it close, you can't see it.
Is it dense? Is
really
it fluffy or dense?
It's really dense, but
nice.
Yeah.
But
this is just a quick one because we're in the middle of talking. I figured I'd roll one up, but
I really think that
I had a name for it. It's I have it right here actually. Why am I complaining? Here we go. It's flapjacks.
Flapjacks. There we go.
There we go, guys. So, dude, all right. I'm pumped because I've been seeing this season coming for a while, right? We both have.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is a chance for us to put on the gas. Road trip style. Imagine we come out and we win all these games.
Yeah.
Right? All of them. Right? And all of a sudden everybody's like, oh shit, like their time isn't tomorrow, it might be right now. Like, is there any chance that happens, or is that just too greedy of me to start kind of like speculating?
What are we talking about? Greedy, man. We're Thunder fans, man.
Yeah, but like, okay, so like 500 would be like really exceptional on this road trip, and everybody should be happy with that.
Yeah.
But I kind of think we're better than that. I think
we are better than that. But the reality of it is it's all about how coach handles these guys, and we can say anything else we want about these players and all that stuff. But at this point of the season, the coaches like getting the guys focused before games, making sure that they get, their sleep that they're supposed to do, all that other stuff. This matters early in the season. And a lot of people just get stuck on being like, oh, we got to do this. We got to do this. Listen, we know when these guys play back-to-back games because they shoot like 30% from 3-point range. We know when these guys are not getting a lot of sleep because of that, all that other stuff. We know when these guys are at the strip clubs. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, we do. Like, they don't play like they should. James Harden would have won 4, 5, 6 MVPs if you never went to any of the strip clubs. And the thing is that, yes, you can be an unbelievable player.
I like that.
Single night. But the problem is that it caps you out in what you are capable of doing. And that's what's key about when you're on a road trip is you got to stay focused. You got to stay in the hotel rooms. You got to keep the girls out of the rooms, like the simple, basic stuff. And if your coach can do that and the coaches can do that and be successful, you're going to go on a winning streak. And that's going to be because you're letting your coaches be your bodyguards and watching the crowd while you're focused on what's on the court.
That's the accountability that you have when you have a mixture of veterans and young players. Like, it was always so important to Presley to have that, and you see it paying off. And we have a new group of veterans and a new group of young players, but the culture stays the same.
All right, is it Yuante? Unity. All right, Unity brand. Don't give up on him yet. Brent Woods, we are huge Josh Giddey fans here. We will never, ever say trade Josh Giddey, because the reality of Josh Giddey is one day he's going to shoot 40% from three-point range. He's going to average almost a triple-double. And you're never going to see players like this that come through the league. You got to give this young man time. And if that means that you lose a couple games because of it, I don't give a shit. It's not only because of Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is elite player, and we will go to battle with anybody about how Josh Giddey is going to completely change the league. And I appreciate you saying something on here, Brent, but we're such massive Josh Giddey fans that we just know what he's capable of doing and what he's going to do, and the NBA is not ready for that.
Well, go ahead, Dave.
Josh Giddey is unlike any other player we've ever seen in the league since Pistol Pete and some of these other guys that can handle the ball, pass the ball, and all this other stuff. Like, I don't understand how this young generation has, especially in the Oklahoma City Thunder community and the other podcasts, have turned on Josh Giddey, because this young mindset that you have to have all five guys be top-end scorers on the court at all times is crazy to me, because you have to have somebody like Josh Giddey. He is the best inbounds player in the league in a very long time. And I cannot say it enough when you're talking about Josh Giddey. Like, getting rid of him would be the biggest mistake Oklahoma City Thunder would do, besides getting rid of Chet or getting rid of Shea. The next person that would be a bigger mistake would be Josh. So Chat GPT.
All right, so Chat GPT just created a new build your own GPT. So I want to tell this GPT to argue that the OKC Thunder will win. This is my first GPT I've ever made myself. Okay, guys, brand new feature they just announced, came out with. So the win a champion
this year, right?
Next 3 years. Okay, I know.
All right, next year. Okay.
Okay, here
All
we
right,
go.
don't get too greedy.
Let's see what happens.
Give it to us good, chat.
All right, so, and here's the thing. Spelling isn't a big problem with this thing. It's actually better at reading poor spelling than anything else. So we're creating a little custom GPT. Its entire function will be to convince us that the Thunder are going to win. All right, let's read this. Great. Now let's give the GPT a name. How about Thunderous Advocate? Sounds good to me. All right, that's a great name. It's a great name. All right, here we go. Debater for the Oklahoma City Thunder championship prospects. Like I said, this is the first one I've ever made, so I'm a little shaky on how well this is going to work, but it's generating a profile picture for us now. That's really fucking interesting. Sorry to do this on the podcast, guys, but I'm learning a new thing today, and I figured we could all do it together. Dave is into ChatGPT with me, so we share some of this.
I polish that shit.
How about that shit, bro? Automatic generate. Here's a profile.
Damn, bro.
If I make any changes to it, I'll be like, how about you put the Larry O'Brien trophy? I'm misspelling everything on the.
Do it, man.
I can't even actually see the words on the screen this far back, so that's kind of part of it. Plus, I'm shitty at spelling. That's the other part of it. So we're gonna get a fresh Larry O'Brien trophy on there. I think this is fun. Okay, now let's see whenever we get that done. Why will the Thunder win soon is a question. What's the Thunder winning strategy? Can the Thunder draft title? Does the Thunder team contribute? How about this one? Let's do this one right here. Let's just. Oh, that's dope. All right.
Yeah.
It's a little trippy because it's like
we need to put.
O'Brien,
Can we put that as our little thing, man? Can we steal that and put on YouTube as our little?
The only thing is, I think we should, but you know how like right now I see the Larry O'Brien and then I see a little ball on top of the Thunder ball.
Yeah. I like the fact there's two. One's bigger than the other, so it's like testicles, bro. That's like the perfect trophy, bro.
I see 3. But if you want to leave it that way, I might ask it to change it though. It's up to you though.
I don't know, man. I just like the whole look of it. It looks good.
All right, we'll leave it. Now let's just
I'm all about testicles.
We'll say that looks great. And then we'll switch over here. And it looks like this side over here is where you actually ask the GPT questions. Boom. The builder is done. Now it's asking us, what do you want us to emphasize? Or, so I'm going to leave that be for now. I'm just going to say like, why will the Thunder win a chip in, or how about this? We'll just say next year. Let's see what happens. Thunder's Advocate, the new GPT that we just created. All right, so now nice. It's giving us a list of why it thinks that it will win. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so I can read this with you guys.
All right,
here we go. The argument for the Oklahoma City Thunder winning an NBA championship in the next year can be built on several key points. Draft capital and young talent. Thunder have amassed a wealth of draft picks, which could be used to either select a high potential players or draft established stars, or trade for established stars. With a young core already featuring talented players like SGA, the team has the foundation to build a competitive roster. Player development. The Thunder has shown a strong ability to develop young talent. Gilgeous-Alexander, for example, has made significant progress this year. With another offseason of development, the young core could take the necessary steps forward to become a serious contender. Cap flexibility. Financial flexibility is
throw that out. Cap flexibility is kind of shrunk right now because we've done other things, but that's cool.
Right, here's the thing. A lot of those things we've done are like we're not committed to though.
Dude, I like number 4.
We could get rid of a bunch of the money because we're paying to take on
You're right.
Dead money.
Yeah. Your Bertans is only guaranteed $5 million next year, so that's not that big of a deal.
But he got paid 17 this year.
Yeah, he got 17 this year.
So that's
he's getting his nut on there for sure. Number 4, coaching and culture, bro. This is what I was telling you about earlier. Keep the guys in shape, in lock, and mentally right there, and you'll be good. So 4 is done.
All right, 5. This Thunder can leverage current trends in Thunder, like the NBA, to like emphasizing the 3-point shooting and versatile defense, optimize their play style by obtaining cutting-edge strategies and analytics that could gain the edge over the competition. Health and continuity, market conditions.
Health and continuity, right there. We're talking about the young players making sure they get rest, right? Understanding that it's not all about winning every single game. If you're going to put a guy out there for 40 minutes, you're like, we're not willing to do that unless it's an overtime, and even then, it's we have stretches where guys are out of the game for long enough to have serious rest. Health is key in order for us to win 50+ games.
All right, so overall, I think this is pretty good. I'm going to add a new instruction, though. I'm going to say, be overconfident. I misspelled over.
The other side.
What?
Other side, right?
Yeah, but this is an actual instruction for how the GPT is going to be trained to answer. Right? So even though I misspelled overconfident, it's going to know what I want. So now it's updating the GPT, and I just didn't really feel like it really got the intention that I wanted it to be like.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so can we win a chip this year? Whoops, wrong side, guys. Can we win a chip this year? All right, guys, let's see if we can win a chip this year. I'll let you guys read this on your way out. Dave, I'm not going to read all these words. Obviously, this has been a fun little exercise, and I appreciate everybody joining us. Thanks for doing my little work training for today.
No, this is perfect, bro. This is what we need. We need to be able to understand exactly what we're fighting for, because the reality of it, we get lost sometimes in all the bullshit and the rookies of the year and the MVPs and All-Americans and all this other bullshit that happens. All-Stars, not All-Americans, but you guys get what I'm saying. We get so stuck on some of these things. And for the first time, and I want to say the last 10 years, right? for the first time in the last 10 years, the Oklahoma City Thunder are truly a title contender. People will be like, well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But here's the thing. If you're a top 4 in the West or you're top 4 in the East, you're a title contender. And there's no way you're not saying that the Oklahoma City Thunder isn't a top 4, top 5 team in the West. And if that's the case, then you have to consider them a title contender.
And build your own GPT, kids.
It's better than porn. See you guys.